Shotgun start in golf is full of mathematics. There's a lot of setup work that we have to do in order to make a tournament work. So I'm going to demonstrate to you just exactly how we do a shotgun start here.
Here we go.
Hey. All right. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Greetings and welcome to a Thursday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is July 17th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I gotta say, I'm doing phenomenal. I got to bed a little later than I wanted to last night. Woke up, was groggy, opened up the leaderboard, and quickly turned to ecstatic. I mean, it was a shotgun start fever dream this morning. Yeah, Westy.
It was incredible.
Obviously
PBJ.
had PBJ, Matthew Jordan,
Phil.
I mean,
We'll throw Phil in there. Get him in there. I have to do my obliged to run out to, the fifth tee and write about Phil. We had the whole thing. Westy, Piss Bear Jr. It was just a great morning. I feel like this always delivers for early, that first couple hours.
Did you see KJ Choi's first tee shot?
Oh, I have KJ Choi intel. I did see KJ Choi's first tee shot.
He clocked 125 on the ball speed.
176 yards. I have balls. So Cameron Smith hit it 153, but that was a quacker, a little duck hook. He's just trying to hit it into the earth. It felt like KJ Choi, I'm told, was none of the sort. Just a good mighty lash that went up into the breeze, into the wind, and didn't get to the fairway. Got shot down out of the sky. Clean contact. So I have intel. KJ Choi's top end ball speed on the range this week has been 150 miles an hour. His top. The top overall, I believe, was Bryson at like 201 something. So there's a 51 mile per hour difference between the two top speeds on the range. His top speed is 150. So then he gets out there, and the Choi boy just gets blown away. He doesn't get to the fairway. But fortunately for him, it wasn't. At first tees, that's tough. I know we do the Rory 2019 thing. It became sort of this theme for the day. Really, is like, Cam Smith, is Rory going to hit it out of bounds? They all talked about how nervy it is. With the OB just brings a different kind of mindset and element, especially first tees can be a little nervy to begin with. And but yeah, the KJ Choi early poof ball was a quick shot of caffeine that got us going.
You want to talk about something that could put you right on your back foot right out of the gate? It's that tee shot, because we saw it with Rory. Like that Rory swing was just like, get the ball on the ground.
It turned into Leishman there, John Olerud for a second. He's just trying to get it through the gap.
And honestly, when you start with a swing like that, it can impact the whole round. And we saw it from Rory. Drove the ball terrible. It was, I think him and Scotty hit very few fairways. Scotty hit 3, he hit 2. Scotty's 2 fairway performance was a lot better. Their 3 fairway performance was worlds closer to the fairway than some of the places Rory was. That was an incredible day. I think I want to make note of this. He has not been on the telecast, but the juice is loose also to wrap up, to bookend the day. We had the boys, Westy, going out early, making the day a banner day already, but the juice is loose. He's even par.
I guess the juice, we're told, went to Marquette for a couple. I don't know, at some point. So he's, you put him up with Dwayne Wade and all the other famous Steve Novak. Throw whatever obscure one you want. The juice is loose. OJ Farrell's club. Gloves
We got our
fit.
story. We got our
All right.
storylines.
There you go.
Today.
He's playing well. Justin Leonard's playing well. It's just a cornucopia of delights that are tailor-made for this podcast on Thursday. But yeah, just to button up, because we went there, the first tee thing. Cam Smith goes, we warm up though in the range, and he's the one who hit the worst tee shot. You're like, well, Cam Smith's not a pro golfer anymore. It was a straight duck hook. I went 153. He goes, we warm up on the range, and it's kind of down on the right, out of the right, and you kind of lead yourself into a bit of false sense of security. And then you get there, and it's like, yeah, all right, we really now got to step up here. He goes, I think I tried to hit that one underground and almost missed it. Not the greatest start to a major championship I've ever had, but from there it was actually all right. It was playing really hard to begin with to take all the tee shot out of it. It was the hardest hole early on. It's just, that is a true ball buster. That I guess interesting theory you propose that it might linger and mess with you beyond into the round.
What you want to do is you want to get up on the first tee and make a really free swing. Yeah. And when there's out of bounds on both sides, it's just really hard to make a free swing. Yeah. I mean, if there's out of bounds anywhere on the first hole,
sure,
I think the natural inclination is to just kind of blast it the other way. Because the last thing you want to do on the first hole is be re-teeing. I mean, it's the worst feeling you could possibly have. And I think, like, you know, the nature of that hole is that, like, if you play really conservative, then it's like, well, the second shot is like no piece of cake here. You know, you're heading up to a green that kind of rejects in the front.
Yeah.
You know?
Patty Harrington went off first and he's not like short. He's not Choi. He had a 2-iron in. Lowry was like, I got to go for the biggest head in the bag. I was so nervous. It's interesting. Tough hole.
Got out of the gate with a birdie, though.
Potty did. Yeah, we did.
One of the things, though, is like that first stretch, the first 5. I felt like the first 5 was really where you could get it and get a nice start going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The middle stretch, especially in the afternoon, got really hard. And in the morning when it was raining, you know, it's just like impossible to hit a fairway. I thought one of the fascinating things was, like, you know, when it looks like it's a really rainy week out there, and these guys really struggle to hit driver, the modern driver, the low spin driver in the rain is like a problem. They just miss. They can, especially if the wind's off the left, they can't hit it far enough left. They like just can't hit the driver because the ball just like kind of hydroplanes out right. So it's just an interesting dynamic with the rain. What's going to happen this week with guys and driving the golf ball?
It was a weird weather day for sure, and like it's kind of interesting. It's been glorious here. Like, it's been incredible. There's been like some misting, right? Occasionally pop up here or there on Monday, but like incredible weather. And then the tournament starts and it's like, boom, you're going to get rain for a lot of the morning and then some in the afternoon. Shane Lowry was talking about, like, I've played here for like 2 weeks and barely got rain. And then immediately the championship starts and we're getting rained on. It was like hot. It was like still at times. Then it was really windy. Then it was chilly. It was dry, then it was raining. We got like the whole thing. I was cold, then also sweating. Like, it was I thought there were some pretty challenging pins. That seemed to be the consensus. I heard it from Jeff Shackelford was talking about that as well. Graham McDowell at the end of the broadcast. Like the one on 5 was not easy. I know that's where you said you could get it. 5 was a little tricky.
7 was tricky, and that back right.
7 was very tricky. You had 14, a front left with the wind, a downwind, like everything going to that bunker. There were some tricky pins. 2 was considered like a ball, like kind of a ball buster as well. 18 challenging. We just like a lot of commentary about the pins being challenging. There were some gettable ones, but you mix in the winds, a little bit of the moisture you're talking about, and then I don't think they gave them. This wasn't like an easy pin day, and we saw some of the rounds coming in at 6 hours might reflect a little bit of the challenge going on.
The annual 6-hour open round.
Pace of play discourse.
It was double the time it takes a member to play the golf course.
Literally double. I mean, I went with Rory at the start. They were like played 3 holes in like 50 minutes. They got to 7. It was 2-hour mark with 2 groups on the hole ahead of them. It was long. It was challenging, but we should not neglect to note that we do have a bevy of players at 4 under that shot 67. So
Yeah.
what are you gonna say?
With regards to the pace of play,
Yeah.
my mid morning got real chaotic once the kid woke up. Started rumbling around.
Yeah.
It's like, and like I just was like, God, I'm like not missing anything because like doing a bunch of stuff, but I'm not missing anything. It's like the perfect way to describe the pace of play.
Yeah. Yeah, I would get in like a conversation, and it's like, oh no, I just missed nothing. They haven't even teed off yet. Our leaders at 4 under are Piss Bear Jr., Houghton Lee, Matt Fitzpatrick. Good to see him back.
That's
Seabez.
Jacob Skav Olesen for those that are new to the pod is Piss Bear Jr.
The son of Thunder Bear, the original Piss Bear, Thorbjorn Olesen. I didn't realize he went to like 3 American colleges, some like Ranger University, then TCU, and then he went to Arkansas. Just working the portal. Piss Bear Jr. Matt Fitz also 4 under, Seabez 4 under, and as we record this, Harry English is 4 under with he's playing on 18. Doesn't have his caddy. His coach is a local, an Irishman, but doesn't have his caddy, and he came out hot. What do you have, like 5 birdies in his first 7 holes? So he's currently tied. It was very, very hard, I thought, but you could shoot a 67 out there.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I if I was anybody at 1 over or better, I'd feel pretty good. Like I got a chance. And I think the golf course, the weather was kind of weird today, and I think that kind of held people back in different moments. And like for the morning wave, it was when it started raining. It got like really tricky and difficult. Yeah. And for the afternoon, that late kind of windy, gusty period got really tough. And for both of them, there was like kind of moments that held you back from getting to 5 or 6, somebody getting 5 to 6. But this golf course, it has opportunities to score. It's got the 2 short par 4s with 5, 17. It's got 3 par 5s that you can take advantage of. So I think that's the thing about this golf course is that you can play a great round. And we saw that the last time it was here with Shane Lowry on Saturday. And I think that's, where if you're at 1 under, 1 over, you feel okay because it's like, okay, I could go out and shoot 66 tomorrow. I'm right back in it. Now, what you might not feel good about is the sheriff, Scotty Scheffler, being there at 3 under. That might trouble some people.
He's not in the group that I announced at 4 under, but is he your leader? Is he your unofficial leader? Or I guess your official leader.
Well, Peach, we got to hit one of our storylines nobody's talking about. I think the sheriff has found a partner, a man of the law that has jurisdiction in England and Northern Ireland. Matty Fitz, the leader, one of the co-leaders, spoke about how fair this golf course was and how it's different than some of the other courses in the Open Rota, where great shots are rewarded. So part of me wonders, Fitzy in form, he's teamed up with Scotty to protect, uphold fair play across Portrush. But Fitzy's been playing good golf.
Yeah, he's coming on. Had a bad year, but coming on.
But I would say Scotty's probably still the leader.
Okay.
What would you say?
He feels like the guy. He seemed a little grumpy. He went from
how about that
perspective boy to grumpy boy. Yeah, they asked him out of the start. You might not have hit as many fairways as you wanted to hit, but you must be pleased with that score. I think he hit 3. Was it 3 or 4? I think it was 3 fairways.
3 fairways.
Yeah, you're the second guy that's mentioned that to me. I actually thought I drove it pretty good. I don't know what you guys are seeing. Well, I mean, I think we're just seeing you hit 3 fairways. I get that, like, it can feel differently. When it's raining sideways, it's actually, believe it or not that easy to get the ball in the fairway. Thank you guys for all pointing that out. Not a happy boy. But yeah, 3 under par, hit the ball nice off the tee. Then the next question was, has there been an adjustment in how you're putting since last week? And if so, what is the difference? Different greens, different surface. These greens are just different. I don't know how you want me to elaborate on that. I was like, Didn't want to elaborate. Pissed that people say, you missed most of your fairways. He said, I drove it really great. I'll take him as face value that he drove it well and just missed fairways. But I think the question's
just
fair.
off the fairway.
Yeah.
He's just off the fairway like 3 or 4 times where
And
he was in the short rough. So it's like that fairway number could have easily been like 7.
And he did play in the rain. He played as much in the rain as anyone really on the course. He talked about how we're used to wind, but we just don't play in the rain that much. And I think Phil also talked about the rain impacts of just getting it to 60 feet once it started raining. That was great, right? You're not hitting it to 6 feet. You're trying to hit it to 60 feet and 2-putt, and that was the goal.
One of the hardest things when it starts raining is just figuring out how far the ball's going to fly, because obviously there's rain hitting it as it flies, so it doesn't fly as far. That's something that I'm always amazed at when these guys play in pouring rain and play really well. Is God, how do you figure out these numbers that that the ball's going to go, because to me, this is the trickiest thing about playing in the rain.
You talked on our preview show about the mental exhaustion from playing links golf, and part of that is not just the mental exertion to face the current shot in front of you. It's the constant change, right? And so we're playing in the rain, now we're not playing in the rain. The wind is 10, now it's 20. And so a hole that you think might be easy suddenly becomes hard within that round, not just day to day. And we got a lot of that today. And the early morning was talking about the rain impacts with Phil and Scotty. I thought Lowry, we're doing too many quotes here, but they're kind of all weaved together. Lowry had a great quote about that. He goes, kind of summing up links golf, where the mentality you need. For example, today, it all changed. On the 11th hole was the worst hole to get the weather we got in. We all really struggled, but I fortunately made a great putt for par. I think there's going to be certain times in the tournament where that's going to happen. You just need to kind of put your head down and battle through it. So you're just going to get on a tee box and you're like, I already don't like this hole, but now I got a shitty weather draw. And it just changes. You don't even know, maybe 30 minutes from prior to that, how it's going to be. And so that's what we got today, just kind of every kind of weather. And it was fun to watch.
I mean, this is what makes it really cool. Is I feel like in this tournament, we're going to get moments where the wind shifts directions, directionally. And I think that's, everybody wants chaos in terms of that. I think we got it last year at Troon.
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday at Troon, where it just blowing so hard that it's just impossible. But there is a beauty also in the extremely variable weather throughout the course of the round that we got today, and as you said, the mental exhaustion that exerts. Just got word that the U.S. coverage went straight from USA coverage into Law and Order.
I'm sad to be abroad and not get that,
Might be a sign. Might be a sign from the gods.
Yeah, we've got 10 dead women in the back of a van, and you're trying to watch, Harris English putt out. Great, good to be away for that one. You did the dun. I have some. I don't want to say explosive, but an interesting detail about the sheriff of the Fair Police. Now, you'd think if you're a sheriff of the Fair Police, you'd be into rules. You'd be into law and order. You'd be into, the enforcement of rules and the enforcement of policies. Well, this is multiple multiple confirmations. On Wednesday, the sheriff himself decided that the driving range was not suitable for him or what he was looking to do at the time. So he went left off the range in front of the TV screen they got there, the jumbo. I think he was probably trying to practice non-fairway shots, a little bit of rough shots.
Or with a certain wind.
But it was not fairway cut where he was hitting from. So maybe it could be both. Not totally unorthodox, right? We've seen this every now and then. So he goes to the end of the range. A gentleman on the range who works the range, I don't know if they were a member of the RNA or member of this tournament staff, said, Scotty, you can't do that. That's not allowed. You're not allowed to be over there. He goes, why? What are you talking about? And it said, it's the rules. He goes, what rules? Show me the rules. And so, Scotty, it's the rules. And said, would you like me to call my supervisor, the manager? He said, yes, in fact, call the manager. And so they call up whoever the head honcho is of tournament or R&A, and they phone down to the walkie-talkie, and they say, Scotty, this is, in fact, against the rules, and you need to return to the properly defined range. So we got a show me the rules, and I want to speak to the manager, all in one sitting from the sheriff of the Fair Police, a guy who you'd think would be in to rulemaking and law and order. And so now I'm wondering, do we have this all wrong? Do we have this all wrong?
This feels like when the DA tells the sheriff, hey, I know you made this arrest, but you forgot to read the rights. And you got let go.
Get off on a technicality. So yeah, it was funny. He was just like chopping away over there. Show me the rules. That's not a show me. It's they had to go to a second level of authority to get him back on the range. I loved that story. It was pretty good. It started happening, I guess, in front of a crowd. But yeah, good range stories. Good range fodder coming this week. He's 3 under. I don't think we need to get into too much on Scotty. I feel like we're going to be talking more about him the next few days. Anything in particular today that you want to button up with him?
I mean, the guy only hit a shot. Like, what you got to be afraid of if you're the rest of the field. He hit a shot from the fairway on 7 holes. The 4 par 3s and then 3 par 4s. I think he was 3 under on those holes. So if you extrapolate that out, the par 3s are some of the hardest shots on the golf course, right?
Right.
So if you extrapolate that out, if you find some more fairways, you're probably looking at a couple more under par. So I think that's the thing that I'd be worried about with the rest of the field. I want to talk about the olds.
Do it, please.
This is one of the beauties of this championship is, like, I think experience is more important here than anywhere else in golf. It is not a ball speed. We see this routinely. It is not a ball speed fest. Sure, ball speed is important, but you also have to know how to hit shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not having your classic, like, guy that just bashes it around the ballpark and wedges it onto greens on the PGA Tour really play well at this tournament historically. Now, today you had, I can't believe you didn't have Westy on that board, that graphic.
PJ forgot.
He has his own graphic. Yeah, I'm not stumbling up.
Who's on the graphic in case
respect?
So we got Justin Rose, Lucas Glover, Phil Mickelson, Zach Johnson, Justin Leonard, Sergio, and Westy, all under par.
And Phil. Yep, you got Phil in there.
And Phil. Yeah. Phil. I mean, it's amazing. We got 3 guys, ZJ with Phil, Westy, and Justin Leonard. We got 3 guys over 50 under par. I mean, an incredible day. And I just, like, it would be awesome if 1 or 2 of these guys really hung around and made a run. Obviously, Justin Rose came really close last year. You'd expect that. I think, like, something I get reminded of every time this year, it's just how many great chances at majors that Sergio, the Open that Sergio's had over the years. And obviously, like, Phil being in the mix is just like an astounding storyline. Did you think about writing him today?
I did. I almost went out and, like, picked him up 14 and to carry him home, guide him home. But I just was like, I can't do this. I can't lean into the bit. He did finish 1 under though. He's still in it. He's still in it. Or obviously in it. But go ahead.
So incredible. Just I love, this is one of the beauties of this tournament. It's more because it's not so super distance dependent. Obviously, this is a long Open course, but like, if you know how to play golf at the Open, you can contend. And I think that's like one of the beauties of this whole leaderboard right now is you have a lot of variety on it between the olds, but you also have, you got Seabez on there, and a lot of different types of players. Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, Ricky's in there. Ricky's in there, notoriously good or reputed win player. Real quick on Phil. He said the Open in 2013 was the greatest accomplishment in his career because he had to learn a style of golf that he didn't know and didn't play growing up. He says it's the greatest source of pride for me as a player to overcome those obstacles. He said why it was important for him to win the Open. He goes, it's a sign of a complete player. You sort of hit on this, like different surfaces, like a tennis player. So it's the sign of a complete player to be able to win in all the conditions of the majors that they provide. Obviously, I've never won a U.S. Open, but winning a Masters requires a whole different style of play than winning a U.S. Open and a PGA. This is unique. It's just the sign of the complete player, and it's my greatest source of pride and accomplishment. And that's where you get the olds. You get a little variety. You get a little, you get a little experience that might be able to lean on. So, Justin Leonard, while we're on the subject of olds, complete kudos to this guy. I mean, we thought
only PJ believed in him.
He did when we did. He's
apparently guys got to win this year. He won this year. He's feeling good. He's riding high. You guys gotta. I report on this every week, and nobody listens to me. It's a shame.
Eric Patterson apparently did the strokes gained analysis. The data. I think these are reliable, but he has him 142nd in strokes gained off the tee. He's 1 under. He's 1 under with 142nd off the tee. That's insane.
He won his major, his Open, which is why he's playing, because he won the Open in 1997.
I think you have your exemption till 65, I want to say. I think is when it runs out if you won. But that's 146, 142nd. He's 1 under. Just an astonishing number. Do you think, does he make the cut?
I think he does. I think he does. He's 1 under. I think I think he could go out and shoot 74 tomorrow.
I guess. Yeah. No, I agree. He can also shoot 81. I'm trying to be generous here. I'm not trying to say shoot 88, but that's a miracle round, 1 under with some of those numbers. But
you want to talk about Westy?
No, but you do.
Westy's got Helen on the bag.
I saw that. Yes. Goat talk is the graphic we have up now.
He missed a short putt like he always does. He hit some really bad chips like he always does. But you know what he also did? Flushed a lot of iron shots, hit a lot of fairways. He is right there.
Yeah.
He
was leading for a good chunk of the morning. 2 bogeys, 14 and 16.
I mean, this guy had a legit shot to win last time it was here.
19. Yeah.
He talked about it in his qualifying, like how he didn't try because he was like all out of sorts with the golf swing.
The last couple years, he didn't try to qualify. Yeah.
And like this year, he was like figured something out, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll sign up." And like sure enough, he just breezed through his qualifier, no doubt. And here he is. I mean,
come on.
I think he can hang around.
Okay,
this is what he does.
He can too. I mean, it's the experience point you just spoke about. Like we know he knows how to play this championship, and if he's like got it together in this approximate to his fashion that was good, prior in a prior era, then it's not. I'd say suggesting he can contend is less crazy than saying Justin Leonard is for sure going to make the cut. Like, I think this is way more within play.
I'll tell you why. These guys, they understand conditions. They understand the golf swing. They know how to make something work. You know who also understands how to make a great engine? Make something that's reliable. Make something that is a high-performing automobile in a lot of different conditions. You know who knows how to do that?
I'm going to guess it's Mercedes-Benz.
You're
Our
right.
friends, Mercedes-Benz. They've been partnered with the Open since 2011. They're rooted in shared values, commitment to excellence, and bridging tradition with modern luxury. Now, the SUVs are the perfect companions for golf enthusiasts seeking performance, style, and space on the way to the course. And the GLS stands out as the pinnacle of this lineup. I will add, I got testimony from friends back home. Where's this quote from Warner? Yeah, he said he sent me a picture of his GLS. It's not just golf trips. It's like incredible. He says captain seats, third row, perfect for 4 kids. His wife drives it. He drives it. We love it. So that's firsthand testimony from friends. So not just golf, the captain seats, you got the kids. That's the GLS experience from a friend in DC. It combines power and finesse backed by 12 driver assist systems, nimble handling, cutting-edge AI technology, and superb craftsmanship. It's you can learn more about the GLS and Mercedes-Benz full lineup of SUVs at mbusa.com. That's mbusa.com. We got to meet Ludwig Oberg. We got a couple pronunciation guides from some Swedish friends on Tuesday. Ludwig Oberg. We got to meet him in the Mercedes deal on Monday. He was eager to chat about like architecture, course stuff, course setup, course strategy. There were, he was doing some other interviews that maybe were not into that. And then, once we arrived and were able to talk about that, he was really cool. No BS, not just the Mercedes.
It's not surprising. He's
great.
a Mercedes-Benz ambassador, which means he's into the finer points of design. He appreciates the finer aspects of design.
That's great. Love that.
In golf courses and in cars.
Good tie in there. Love that. All right, let's move on. What else? What other takeaways do you got from here? Would you
I got a bunch.
Is it mean to say Scotty 68 was pointless? What's the point? I thought it was a pointless 68. Why even bother? Why even try? I mean, that seems to be lingering around the grounds. All the players like continuing to react positively, negatively. I don't want to get into it.
Well, he said nobody reacted negatively. I mean, he said he's only gotten positive feedback.
It's not. I mean, maybe Patrick Harrington's on the record talking about. I don't get that. Yeah. Anyways, a pointless 68. He's not here to inspire the next generation. He's just here to shoot 68.
We could in 3 days say it was pointless to even play the tournament if he hits more fairways.
He hits more fairways. What else do you want to go to? Any other bits and bobs?
I mean, I was impressed with how JT held the round together, but it just feels like every major he has these like big holes that just kind of blow him out of it. And I think he's not completely out of it, especially with the way he can go low. But the double bogey, it's just like the double bogey on 9. He just makes so many mistakes and has that just propensity to blow up. I feel like that was kind of one of Ricky Fowler's curses when he was like really in his prime and gunning for majors, was just like the undoing of big numbers and the potential. And I just think that's the issue with JT right now. That said, listen, we've seen him do this in so many big tournaments, is shoot just like a stupid low number, and he's right back in it. And I think like the way he held on to the round after that double, I was pretty impressed with kind of how he's played in recent majors.
I don't want to strain a metaphor here, but he feels like sort of like the mistake-prone quarterback that can like do things that are like incredible, but then just gets in his own way and has a terrible mistake or blows up, and you're like, I wouldn't say he's, I don't think he's at the level of like an elite, like a Josh Allen or something. That's kind of the guy that always, but he is kind of this guy where you see flashes of incredible brilliance, but then can't get it like across the line, can't finish it, has the bad mistake. I thought his shot on 5 was like one of the best shots I saw all day. I do think he likes to use this opportunity to sort of get in his bag a little bit and show you what he's got. Sometimes to the positive, sometimes to the detriment, overthinking. But he hit a little chip runner to what I thought was a really hard pin on 5. We saw it sort of reject Rory's shot a few minutes later, right? He didn't get all the way up, and they made the putt for birdie, whatever that bomb putt. So JT, one of the best shots I saw today. It's just he's 1 over. So
Yeah, he's
he's in it.
still in the mix.
He's
you know,
still in it. Yeah.
it's then yeah, I think we got to talk about our friend Matt Jordan. A question
guy.
I've got a question.
Yep.
You think Portrush needs to look at the Summerlin model with Matt Jordan breaking through? You know, not he's strayed a little bit away from par. He's 3 under. Does that mean that, you know, Portrush should consider a Summerlin model reduction of par?
Maybe like 12 and 7. Just move some tees up to make them 4s. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I mean, we didn't notice it as much when we were here playing. Like, some of the tee walkbacks for the pros are preposterous, like crazy. 7 being one, 18, 17, you go down the hill and then you walk like, 100 yards back up to the top of the hill. Like the walkbacks for some of the pros are kind of nuts. But yeah, maybe the Summerlin model would work. Just cut a few in half and move the tee up.
I wrote for the newsletter about Matt Jordan. That's what I spent my morning doing. But it's incredible what he does at this tournament. It illuminates the one of the main issues of professional golf, and the fact that your success as a professional is largely dictated on one style of golf, which is Parkland, soft, soggy golf design from the 70s and 80s is the predominant thing, whether it's on the European tour or whether it's on in America. There's so this guy, if you played links golf regularly, and I'm curious to see how he finishes, how he gets into the barn. He's playing, this is his 3rd Open. He finished 10th in his first one, which was at his home course at Royal Liverpool 2 years ago, which got him into this year's Open, or last year's Open, which he finished 10th in also, which got him into this year's Open. And I just think about this is a guy that grew up playing a different style of golf, grew up playing links golf, and understands how to play links golf very well. And it's funny, I dove into his his career. So he's played 170 OWGR events. And to my count, I wasn't going to go through every event, but the only tournaments that are held at links golf courses are the Open, the Dunhill, and the Scottish. He's played 170 times, and roughly I don't know, probably 8 or 9 of his starts have been at links golf courses, and 4 of his 9 best OWGR finishes are on links golf courses from those small subset of events.
Yeah, it's an astonishing. Yeah, I mean,
because he's got he's got a T5 and a T10 at the Dunhill.
Right.
This is
grew
a
up
guy,
at Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is a guy that if you played, if 90% of the golf tournaments were on links courses, he's probably a top 50 player instead of a guy that's been between 120 and 300 in the world since we started talking to him. He has not gotten above 120 in the world. It's fascinating. It's just it's just something that I think there has to be perspective around and this is Scotty, Rory, Rahm, they're going to be the best players everywhere. But that 20 to 80 golfer is so dictated based off of setups and golf courses that you're visiting. And Matt Jordan, they just don't play a lot of links golf, but every time we show up at a links golf course, and usually the harder the conditions, the more he pops. He's somebody asked him about why do you play so well here? He's like, I know how to hit the shots. This style of golf, he said, it's not the style of golf where you just stand there and hit it. You have to think, you have to know how the wind's going to react to a shot. And it'd be really cool. After Liverpool round 1, you're like, well, this guy's going to fade out, Yeah. And then he stuck around all week. And then last year it was oh, well, it's cool that he's playing well again, but he's bound to fade out.
Right.
If this guy hangs around again, it's just, he's a links specialist.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It. I mean, the game is the game, right? Like you might see a mid-range jumper guy get fade out, like his value diminishes. But like here, we have the ability to. Maybe you don't need to be 50%. You have the ability to bring variety, right? It's not like there's ability to create different tests, create different skill sets, right? And we just don't do that. And you kind of see it this week on Wednesday. I was sort of like the Pendy group, Taylor Pendry. I was like,
Pendy hit it out of bounds on the
he's
first
going to get
hole.
blown out. See, I woke up this morning. It was just it was like walk to the course at like 6:50 or whatever we went. And it was like, you got Marco Penji in a scarf. It's like 65. Oh, he's done. He's Marco Penge. He gathered himself. Jason Day's sweater. Phil's in contention. Pendy and KJ Choi off the tee. Ben Griffin, nearly hit it in the merge 10 off the tee. It's just was a great entry into the start of the day. But I love your Jordan point, your Jordan take. It prompts for like greater analysis of professional golf, the structure.
Yeah, it prompts greater analysis. But also like, I think like what makes the Open so awesome, we just talked about this with all the old guys playing, is like it de-emphasizes driver and adds emphasis to every other aspect of the game.
Right.
Approach play, and it's not just like, oh, I can hit a towering 7-iron. On tour, it is, can you hit a towering 7-iron? Because there's rarely wind that's going to dictate you having to like hit a real shot. Like, okay, I'm going to take a little off this and cut it. There are so few courses like Pebble, you get that because it's on the ocean. But like the greater skill of iron play is being able to compute that and then hit the shot, like have the feel and then execute the shot that is more difficult than just hitting the stock TrackMan high shot. And I think that's what makes this style of golf so much more fun to watch, is that the shots that have more consequence are the ones that you hit near the hole, and the driver, just blasting a driver up into the rough or as far as you can hit it, hoping it goes in the fairway, but being okay with it being in the rough. That's the least interesting shot in golf because it doesn't approach the hole. All the other shots, approach shots, chips, and putts, have the consequence of the hole location. And that is the interest in the game. The game gets more interesting for the most part the closer you get to the hole.
Yep. You get more ball on the ground more. It just gets more dramatic, more intense, and more rewarding to watch, quite honestly. We want to hit some miscellaneous. Have we done enough? I don't think we need to hammer Rory too much. I went out there. We're going to talk about him. Tee. He hit not a lot of fairways. You wonder, he's had trouble finding a driver or with his driver since, the Masters. And are we back to that again? He played well at Renaissance. It was cool out there on the first tee. I wouldn't say it was like, Masters Sunday, but it was awesome. You just like walk out there and it's that field and it's just like obvious. I'm not breaking it, like 15 deep all the way up. It was the only one you can hear. Like I went up toward the middle of the green, middle of the fairway. I made a joke like the whole left side's going to be like the outfield of the home run derby. Just a bunch of people with their baseball gloves like waiting for it to come. And I went up that way, and you just like you could hear the grandstands went nuts. It reverberated all the way up the fairway that you just didn't hear for other people being announced. So a ton of pressure. Kind of gets out a little scruffy with 2 balls left, but just somehow under par when he gets to 6 and it gets to 3 under at some point.
Listen, like this is it feels kind of similar to the Masters in a different way. You had that opening round where it was like kind of disappointing. Like the disappointment today was like he drove it really bad, but like you walk away and it's like, okay, if that's the worst he plays all week, he's got a really good chance to win, and that could be the worst round he plays all week. and he scored the ball exceptionally.
He stole a few. I mean, the birdie on 17, 15, like he stole, like kind of stole them.
Yeah.
In a good way, obviously. But
I thought some of the up and downs were really similar to the final round at Pinehurst, where he was kind of scraping around and for a while and made some really tough up and downs look pretty easy, like 15. A couple. We're going to talk probably Rory a lot more this week.
Yeah.
A couple more storylines that nobody's talking about. A new feature of the show we brought up on Tuesday's show.
Yep.
We got Cam Young, fell for it again. Cam Young eaten alive by Calamity Corner. PJ, how you feeling?
Not great. I mean, I was ready to go at 3:25 Eastern time. I was fired up. I was ready for this group with him and Patrick Cantley, and obviously bogeyed the first. That was a lock. That was never in doubt. That was always going to happen. Until he got to 16, he bounced back really well. Every time he bogeyed, he got one back. Had been red for a little bit, and then the double on 16 kind of ruined everything. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. But not good. It wasn't good. It was good for a little bit.
I would throw in with him. I mean, Morikawa. We may be talking about him on Friday with like miscut segment, but
and entire major season.
He had double cross going hard on the front nine and on the range. Very, very frustrated. So Cam Young, fortunately, another superstar, Dick Teeter, also in that Cam Young range, 3 over.
We have that as one of the storylines.
All right. Okay.
Teeter has a commanding 5-shot lead over Van Tonder. Teeter is leading Tonder after Thursday.
Someone sent us a great nickname for DVT. I forget what it was. I'll find it. But yeah, Teeter leads Tonder. I love that. It's still time for time. I can't believe the 19-year-old kid said he loves links golf because he hits it far and it rolls far and he's going to hammer it as far as possible at all times. Isn't leading the tournament, but he's adjusting. He's 3 over. It's not disastrous.
I think like one of the misplays is I noticed he went no hat. The classes have to be just getting smoked with rain out there. How does
that's a good
as,
point.
as
driving with
someone
no
who has
windshield
glasses,
wipers. Yeah.
Like I never play golf in glasses. I always wear my contacts. But like one of the reasons I never play golf in glasses is because of the rain. And then you go out there and you're trying to show off your mullet instead of putting a hat on and being a little bit practical. If you need to wear the glasses, I think this is a tactical error by Teeter.
Well, he's 19.
He's
got
19.
time.
Practicality is not really a priority.
This is what the Z's called, or even the Jet Alphas call aura farming. He's trying to get out there with his mullet, go viral on TikTok.
Aura farming.
I believe Dick Teeter might have been aura farming out there today.
I'm familiar with that.
Another storyline nobody's talking about. Home cooking. Darren Clark through one round is really taking it to Wyndham Clark. He's winning the battle of the Clarks.
Yep. I like that. That's tough scene for Wyndham Clark.
Tough.
Maybe not the toughest scene for Wyndham Clark this week. Well, I guess we'll just do it now.
You got to do it.
Okay. News came out. So I got this. It was late here. Someone sent me the letter. It was like I'm in bed, going to bed. I check my messages. I get this letter from Oakmont. I've got like one eye open, like looking at it on my phone as I'm going to bed. And I'm like, this is just not real. Like, I'm not going to share this. I'm not going to publicize, like, because this is just some AI, like someone faking us out. Oh, it's real and it's spectacular. Oakmont, they're not like suspending him or anything. He's banned right now. Here's the letter that went out, I guess Tuesday. Was it Tuesday night, Tuesday afternoon at your time? Dear fellow members, several of you have inquired about the situation involving Wyndham Clark and the steps being taken in response to his recent behavior. Following multiple discussions with the USGA and the OCC board, the decision was made that Mr. Clark will no longer be permitted on OCC property. The decision will remain in effect unless formally reconsidered and approved by the board. Reinstatement would be contingent upon Mr. Clark fulfilling a number of specific conditions, including full repayment for damages. Makes sense. Totally reasonable. A meaningful contribution to a charity of the board's choosing, really open-ended. I guess I'm okay with it.
What do you
You
think
know,
a meaningful contribution
That's
is?
it's pretty open-ended.
What do we got? What's your
Guy's
number?
he's got a good a good bank account. Like
25,000.
I was gonna say 10 grand, and he's covering the cost of the damage. That's 10 grand. What is yours?
I think it's 25.
Meaningful. Okay. All right. And then we step it up a notch. So repayment, contribution to charity, and then we step it up to, and the successful completion of counseling so they're still deciding whether
This
it's
is
one
insane.
or both. Counseling or anger management sessions. So they might decide that it's got to be an and, so you got to do the both. Thank you for your understanding and continued support. I like Oakmont. I enjoy it. It seems like a good membership, great course, the whole thing. This letter is completely preposterous. And of course said to the entire membership it was going to get out in short order. It's just I get being mad. This is boorish behavior. He should be in trouble. He's a jerk, and tell him he's never allowed back. But like this sort of jump through hoops thing. Is he supposed to send a doctor's note? Like, I've completed my counseling. Here you go, OCC board. What
I mean,
like you can't impose. The man's like an adult. Come on.
This is the counseling stuff's like what happens when you like assault a person.
Right. Or you like do something bad at work, right? You like you abuse, like verbally abuse workplace,
or you have something happen on a transatlantic flight.
Sure, and you go from Thunder Bear to Piss Bear, and that's it. And the die is cast, and you'll never be known as anything again.
I mean, it's just insane. This isn't the tour. This isn't the USGA saying It's not a governing body saying he needs to complete
counseling and or anger management.
It's a country club that hosts an event every 10 years.
So he's banned. So what's the
it's not even like Riviera, who hosts every year.
Can you we're doing this Thursday because we're not going to talk about this again. This is one of the most. This is like so up my alley. I could not ask for anything better. This was the most amusing thing I will see maybe this year. I can't wait to get to it. And you're in review already.
I'm just worried we're going to forget about it.
No, not going to happen. If you were like Wyndham Clark's management or Wyndham Clark himself, how would you respond to this? I don't want to put you in the shoes of it necessarily.
I think what I would do is I would take care of the first two hurdles.
Okay.
And then I'd be like, listen, I have a sports psychologist. It's well publicized.
Yeah.
Netflix really leaned into this.
Yes, whole episode.
I'm working with her to address my anger problems. And I'm done.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
This
is, to be clear, not excusing his behavior. He stinks. That was shitty. It stinks. This is just a lot.
It's also just a lot to why could you just send the memo to him as the board and not told your whole membership that you're doing this?
Right. Or just send the membership letter, something that's much more succinct and ambiguous, like we've talked to, where he's working to rectify the situation.
Nobody looks good in this.
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the things that I'm always astounded by with golf is how often these situations come about where everybody ends up looking bad.
Yeah, right. There's sensibility is lost on all sides a little bit. There was a right and a wrong, and then the right became a little bit wrong because they went nuts. Yeah, that's true. So yes, Wyndham Clark is low Clark at Oakmont, low Clark with Darren, and he's going through it this week. What else do we got for storyline? Anything else you want to throw my way before I get an unsubstantiated out there? Go ahead.
Yeah, we got one more.
Okay.
It's the Marty Smith Thanks for Your Spirit Award. Our guy Saddam in the top 5 comes out. He's a monk.
I didn't know if you saw that. It's only everywhere.
Saddam uses. I'm hearing that there are thousands of golfers that have been applying for. I don't know. Is it monkship? Would it be monkship to join the
That
fellowship?
doesn't sound right.
The
frock. I don't know.
There are thousands of golfers that are seeking this to improve their golf game.
Yeah, he played well, Saddam. He played well.
I'm just calling him Saddam because I want to be very clear. I looked up how to pronounce his name
several times.
His last name.
Yeah.
I tried to run through it multiple times, and I just don't want to embarrass myself.
Okay. All right. He's doing wonders. He's doing wonders for the name Saddam. Getting that out of the gutter. He's doing a good job. The monk played well. Got a 2 on 5 too. Made an eagle on 5.
How about the Olsons taking it to the Højgaards too?
And the early Nico Højgaard set an easy good standard there early on juniors day. Well, that's all the young lad doing his work. So that was great.
Well, Thorbjorn's sitting there. I think he's 1 over.
He's
doing
doing
the
fine.
mix.
He's fine.
This is I think this would be. I did some research. I think this would be the first father-son duo to make the cut at the Open since young Tom and old Tom Morris.
Good. That's good research, even if it's done for a bit and completely inaccurate. I like that. Hey, how was the broadcast? Okay, from over there. We don't need to go do broadcast minute, but my favorite, one of the hardest laughs I had was the British guy over here said he characterized Scotty's swing as an octopus falling out of a tree, which was just a great phraseology. Maybe that was the world feed over there. I thought that was good. Then they had the farting situation where you've got a
Scotty.
No, I don't know. It was someone on the broadcast or the guy holding the mic, the boom mic or whatever. And so this was very clear and loud over the broadcast. And they just are hollering. They're laughing. They're not hiding. They're delighted. It's the wind from behind, got them. And they're just very good. The commentary with the Open getting away is very good. So good coverage over here with the commentary. How about you guys?
This is an annual tradition for me. Is I wake up early and I have it just shoved in my face for being a golf fan, where you turn on the Golf Channel and they just bomb you with commercials.
Yeah.
Josh Carpenter had a tweet that was basically like it's double the commercial load during this hour than a normal event. Yep. And I think it's like so messed up that it's like, oh, we're going to just load the commercials up here.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's your core constituent who's getting up to watch that. That is like your diehard fan and you're treating them terribly. That being said, then I realized as a Steam Media member, I get the world feed without commercials on my computer. So I put that on, which, I then get
jamming the listeners here.
I am jamming the listeners, but I thought GMAC was pretty delightful as awesome. a color guy.
He was good. I mean, sometimes you think like he probably knows the course as well as anyone, right? He's played it like 1,000 times as a member, and that can kind of like also make you like too much information, right? Make you sort of overweighted down by that. But he was awesome. He was really good. Sort of bringing a live boy back into the fold. I think he's working for Sky. I don't think it's NBC, owned by the same company. But yeah, he was great. What'd you like about him?
I think he brought a lot of insight from the tour. He brought a lot of insight about players. Obviously the live ones, he was like a little bit, he has more than what we've seen at major championships from, because he's out there playing. But I thought he was really good on like the PGA Tour players too. Obviously the course stuff, knowing that like the back of his hand.
Yeah.
And I just thought like he had like, for a guy that like hasn't been in the booth, I thought he had just like a really nice presence.
Yeah.
woke up and I turned it on. I was like, wait, is that GMAC?
Yeah.
And it made me think about, like, you know, NBC's been kind of a carousel. You've got Kevin Kisner's like their lead analyst, but he's still playing.
Unsubstantiated rumor. He
but-
apparently shows up. He flies in like last minute, makes him sweat. Kiz, he comes in late for one lead chair on the weekends. But go ahead. Yeah, they have been a little bit of a carousel.
It's been a carousel. There's no continuity. There's no camaraderie, I feel like, in comparison. And like one of the things that like you think about is like GMAC was never somebody I thought of as being in the booth after playing. You obviously have Phil was a big, in the booth. Would he be great in the booth? And it's like, those might have been like, you think Poulter could probably be pretty interesting in a booth. Like, are the best. Did we lose because of the way Liv went about just signing up all the washed up guys? Did we lose all the broadcast talent?
Well, Billy was at that like that a bit, right? I mean, Billy Horschel on your pod just talked about this, right? Just a little more critical eye. And GMAC was good. I mean, with the analysis, knowing the course, but then you also got to be able to. You can't be a stiff, and you can tell he's like interesting to talk to. When Bobby Mack was like dropped 10 F-bombs as he like went hither and yon to get his 4, he's like, oh, that was a colorful 4, colorful par, and the air was colorful. Like he's just like good dropping that in and on top of the substantive stuff. So.
I'll never forget. Something that's gonna be seared into my mind is what he said about after he went to live and like just like how tone deaf he was to like Saudi Arabia. But that being said, like I think his like golf brain. Sure. From like just if you're just talking golf is like unbelievable. Like you could do that's like the thing that like I took away was like this guy's golf IQ, and I think that's what you need in that chair. Is you need somebody that really understands the game and can talk about it at a sophisticated level. Like he was talking about, they asked him about slower greens, what to do, and he's like, well, Tiger always added lead tape, but like one of the things it's counterintuitive. A lot of people say go lighter because you could get more club head speed on a lighter putter, so you don't have to change your stroke. Like, and it's like that I found as somebody deep in golf, like he had the zingers that for the casual audience, but he also had the in-depth like stuff that I want to hear about. Like he talked about, a little bit of rain on the sand, it makes them a little firmer. These are fluffy bunkers. Like he was just like all over it. Like right when stuff was happening, he was on it. And he was talking a lot about the driver and the low spin driver, how it used to be. It just, I think like that's the level of sophistication. But he still, he has the level of sophistication you need for like your diehard core fan. But he also was approachable and funny and had a timing for the moment for the casual fan. And I think that's like probably why it's so hard to find really good announcers. I think that Trevor does an awesome job with this type of stuff for CBS also.
Yeah, he was out there late last night. I saw him working, like walking the course.
GMAC?
Yes, probably like 7, 8, like pretty late last night.
This is
still
before
working.
You got a late night round in.
Yeah, I guess it would have been like closer to 6. So yeah, he was still out there hustling. So, good stuff from GMAC. Anything else? I haven't unsubstantiated. I'm gonna pump to Friday. I'm bumping it. Tease. I'm gonna dangle it, and you can go.
You don't want to just burn it on minute 63.
100. Yeah, whatever.
Remember how we talked about these should be 20-minute episodes?
This has been a good show. This has been fun. I don't know if it's good, bad, but I've had fun with this one. Anything else we need to get to on this Thursday show?
PG, got anything else?
I want to jump in.
No, I think we're all good. We covered. I was very excited about the return of storylines nobody's talking about, so I can't wait to see what comes out of tomorrow.
Lamagna, do you have anything? He just showed up, road weary. Do you have one take? Any insight you want to throw out here? I have a mic I can put you on. Are you good? Colin on the driving range. He was on the driving range watching Colin. Apparently, extremely emotive and going through it, looking to the sky for answers, and it was bad. It sounded tough.
You think Billy's going to take that bag full time?
It did not seem, from what I was told, I didn't see him up close, that the rapport was strong, looked a little icy. Not that they're hostile, to just
Yeah.
not a lot of hitting it off.
Yeah.
So, yeah. doesn't seem-
One other thing I forgot on Fitzy.
yeah.
Credits his turnaround to the number one coach in the world, Mark
Oh,
Blackburn.
good.
Lot of Blackburn love in the press conference. Golf Digest nailed it. Number one coach in the world, Mark Blackburn.
He's number one.
Guy comes in, turns programs around, he builds, works it. All right, that does it. This was a fun Thursday show. I had a blast. We're gonna have dailies. I got this. We got more reporting. We'll be on the ground again tomorrow. Following Rory, Scotty, missed cuts, the whole deal. Bryson, we didn't even touch on Bryson yet. Go ahead, PJ.
I just don't want you to forget the unsubstantiated rumor for tomorrow. You've been teasing this to us for like 2 days, so you can't.
I'll just throw it out. It's not that important. I'll throw it out right now. So they have a tunnel. They have a tunnel that goes to facilitate crowd control over it. So they build a tunnel under like 910, I think it is, from one green to the tee. And it's pretty big, but there's one player in the field who refuses to go through the tunnel. He's like claustrophobic, and the tunnel's big. It's tall. It's like 50. It's wide. It's very big. It refuses to go through the tunnel. This is unsubstantiated. The Scotty range stuff, I would classify as substantiated, and just won't go in. Goes up and over into the masses. He's claustrophobic, he says. Refuses to go through the tunnel. Any guesses? It's a Masters champion.
Oh, I was
Masters
about to hit the
winner.
board for something.
Masters winner, and one player who will not use the tunnel and just jams up, to the logistical.
Jordan Spieth.
No. Masters champion. No, not P.
ZJ?
You guys are on it. Masters champion. Post-pandemic, he's won a Masters. Post-pandemic.
Oh God, DJ?
DJ?
Not DJ.
That would be incredible.
That
if it
would
was
be
DJ.
great if DJ was in
Rahm?
crowds.
Right after him. No.
Hideki?
Yes, Hideki is. This is unsubstantiated. And it's just throwing this kinks in the they did all this logistical. One guy, he's claustrophobic. He's like, no, don't do the tunnel. So that's why I thought that was just amusing, sort of inconsequential rumor. That's
kind of crazy that he flies Spirit. There's not a lot of room on those planes.
Seriously, seriously, but I don't think there's anything you can do.
You know who might be able to help him with that anxiety?
What's that?
I want to talk to Samson.
What did Samson do today?
Oh,
Not
man.
good.
He's
Not
like
good.
6 over. I was following it very intently. Very intently.
That soundboard bite is not going to be long in the world. Sadly, will not be around for very long.
That's a shame. All right, that does it. This was a fun Thursday show. We'll talk to you guys on Friday after the conclusion of play. Scotty's out later tomorrow. What are we talking? Like 4 Eastern,
Probably about
3:30?
the same.
Yeah, we went at like 4:05 today. So
Okay, so that's probably
4
9
o'clock.
o'clock here. 1
If you're
Pacific.
driving, just pop YouTube on
Yeah,
and listen to it over your car.
commuting home or something.
Yeah.
All right, talk to you then. Thanks, guys.